Today is Thursday, April 18th, 2019. This is a quick Hobbit garden update. Last night we got, let's see, I just put a stick. Can you see that? So I put a stick into a container. It looks like we got 2¼ inches of rain last night, which was needed. My rain barrels in both the front and backyard were, empty. So I was hoping for rain. I was starting to have to use a little bit of house water, and sink gray water to water the garden a little bit, not enough. I find when God waters my garden, He's a lot more generous with the water than I am, and we've got quite a morning here. It's a cool morning. In the greenhouse right now, it's about 54 degrees. It got down to about 44, I think, 43 degrees early this morning. Actually, maybe even now. The sun is up, but it's not through the clouds, and I think it's going to be a cloudy day pretty much the whole day today. So I want to burn some brush and stuff in the backyard because everything's wet, just to be safe. But we'll see if that happens. I think we're going to have a few more days of rain, so it looks like we're getting the April showers, and we'll get the May flowers here soon. I just want to go over some things. I'm in the greenhouse, and I didn't leave these out in the storm, but I did leave a lot of my plants outside, and I'll show you that in a second. But these were planted. All of these were planted back in February, and you can see that some of the seeds are still popping up. So we'll see what happens. We'll see with these are tomatoes, and that's a bell pepper. So I planted up a few plants yesterday. I had other plants too, but that looks like a pepper to me. It was labeled, I think, cauliflower. So I think a pepper seed got into my cauliflower. The cauliflower must have been bad seed. None of them came up. But here's a basil. I planted that up yesterday. And here's an oxheart tomato. And all of my larger tomatoes I planted out. I'll show you that. And I had so many tomatoes not make it, and I'm trying to get other tomatoes to start. Some cherry tomatoes, and what are these here? Well, these were planted a long time ago. These aren't tomatoes, it says they're peppers. So hopefully we'll get a lot of peppers and tomatoes also this year. And there's another basil. Now, I've had a lot of trouble getting my basil to grow. I've planted a lot of seed, everywhere. So I wouldn't be surprised if I get basil everywhere. Here, let's show you. So again, I had 2¼ inches of rain, and this is just the morning after. The radishes are really looking happy, and I'm not sure why the leaf lettuce isn't taking off more. We'll see. The mint looks happy. So this is about a 27-gallon container. It's I think that's 18 inches tall and 24 inches across. So it can hold about 27.5 gallons. And you can see I found this on the side of the road, and I'm going to put in some containers and fill it up with compost and stuff. But I didn't want it all the way full because it's just too heavy, too big. So again, now you can see these little guys in the middle. Those are rutabagas, and then around it on the edges are radishes. So this guy's looking happy, but that other container, nothing's popped up. So, and again here, these guys are looking happy. This is kale, and that red cabbage and mint. The onions, they seem to be doing okay. And then the older onions and leeks. So we'll see what happens there. Now, oh, look, my first pole bean. You see that? My first pole bean has popped up. I was about to say I haven't had any of my pole beans pop up, but I have at least one. And it's been a bit cold lately. You know, last week we had the temperatures down to, I'm pretty sure it was last weekend, down to 33. And I had a few days of cold, but not crazy cold, not enough to kill peas and stuff. I don't think we're going to get that. So you can see the peas, they're coming up slowly. In fact, I want to raise these a bit. Now here's the tomatoes I planted out, and I enlarged my tomato cages. I took 2 cages and put them together, so now they're about 22 inches in diameter. The double cages are. I had 2 small, so I planted out those. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Looks like I have a dozen tomato plants out. And that's all the large plants. And I've got some other plants. Oh, I wanted to show you this. I don't know if you can see it, but let's see. See if I can find them. Can you see those guys? Can you see that guy there? I've got volunteer tomato plants coming up right here. And that's kind of interesting. My garlic. And you can see the potatoes are coming up, and I don't know what these guys are. I think they may be sunflowers. We'll see if I let them live. I don't really want sunflowers right there. So I may dig up the sunflowers. But I wanted to see what type of plant they were, but they're starting to look like a sunflower. I've got a number, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them there. And then these potatoes on this side, they look much better. Look at that, popping up about 6 inches, spreading out. I like that. And you can see in between there, that's mustard seed. I got a lot of mustard coming up. Now, these peas here, they actually look the best of all my peas. Look at that. They really came up thick like they're supposed to. And I've got some other peas coming up just in the last couple days. These were planted later. So I'm going to have peas all the way around the perimeter. And the peas and tomatoes are going to grow up together. So it'll be interesting. You can see my peach tree. The blossoms are on the ground. And the apple tree, he's looking happy. Now, here I'm going to show you. Oh, I got mud. Let me see if I can get around that. So, I've got you can see the water. So I'll come and I'll take these, and they're plenty soaked. We'll see how they do. Now, a friend of mine, kind of like a nephew to me, I was teasing him about giving a plant for his birthday, and he took me up on it. So these are going to be peas for David. His birthday's coming up real quick. I hope they pop up. So there's 7 peas per container. a double blessing. He's going to be 7. So look, these are collards. Now you can see how thick they're planted in there. That's it'll be a battle to see what I do. I mean, technically I should probably thin them out and spread them, you know, plant them other places. Now I wanted to show you how these onions are doing. See here? And that's a grapevine. Now I'm hoping that grapevine's hopefully it'll have some good grapes one of these days. So I have onions and garlic, but the garlic hasn't really come up out here. But the onions, you know, I planted. They were that size when I planted them, but hopefully they'll take off. So you see the tomatoes through the fence. And later, oh, this is what I wanted to show. There's a lot of volunteer tomatoes coming up there. I mean, look at that passel. There must be 20 plants right there in that little grouping. So these are probably the Amish paste tomatoes. I mean, I was growing them right in this spot, and I had a lot of the tomatoes. They were so thick that I didn't pick. Now that's actually one of my least favorite tomatoes, the Amish paste. But they're not bad. I mean, they're okay, but they're not my favorite. So I'm gonna have a lot of volunteer tomatoes, it looks like, and looks like I need it because I had a lot of my plants not take off. So that's what the garden's looking like. I wanted to point out this dwarf apple tree that I dug out of my garden over here. I've put it in this bucket of water, and look, it's starting to put out leaves. So I need to plant this apple tree somewhere in the backyard. And I also had a lot of apple shoots. No, these are on the tree. Oh, here in these buckets. And I've been soaking these in water, but I don't know if those roots look like they're doing anything. So we'll see if I get some little apple trees going or not. Anyway, I thought you'd find, oh, wait a second. Oh, this one is. So here's another one with some, you see that apple leaves? So I've got at least 2. Here, let me put that back in. I have at least 2 apple trees, it looks like. Oh, maybe 3. I see another one with some buds. So I'll have to find a place to plant those guys. Hope you found that interesting. Bye-bye now. So I wanted to mention that one of my projects for this week will be planting out this bed here. I'm going to plant this bed in okra, Texas okra. So hopefully by next week this will be planted. And I'm going to put, you see the wood chips there I put down around the blocks, the stepping stones. So I think I'm going to also cover this in wood chips. So, and I also have that bed over there. I'm going to plant that, well, I'm going to plant it in cucumbers and watermelon. We'll see. We'll see if it works. Okay, love you guys. Bye-bye now. You know, when it's not raining, it feels like it's never going to rain. And then when it rains, it just really pours down here. So 2¼ inches of rain. I can hear some birds singing. And I wanted to do this quick update. I hope you enjoyed it. Love you guys. Bye-bye now.